Hi guys, Dave with Dave's Corner. So what I want to talk to you folks about tonight is a subject that was brought up to me yesterday, actually. Um, Anybody who knows me knows that I'm no stranger to grief and losing people because I have lost many people in my life. And it's really taught me to hang on to whoever is in my life. Um, this friend lost a loved one very, very recently, and this was not the only loss. This poor girl, has dealt with losing a lot of people, including having to go to the funeral of a 7-year-old. I can't even imagine. I was very touched by her, and, I know that you are watching this because I'm making this clip for you. How to deal with the pangs of grief when they hit. So anybody who has suffered, a death or a loss recently and really has that awful feeling of extreme sadness, you know what this is about. You know how tough it can be. It's not the same as being sad or even depressed. This is a very, very intense sadness that the only real way to cure it is really through time. That's it. If you are somebody who's been unfortunate enough to have to suffer a loss, unfortunately you have no choice but to deal with the pain. And there's a lot of people who numb the pain through drugs, through sex, through anything to stop the full pain from being there. It's a very hard thing. So, in my experience, I won't go into, any of the stories, but, I felt a lot of grief recently. Not so much in the past few weeks, or less than that, but the past few months. And, the only thing that I could really do that could really help when no one was available, when, it just felt like your whole environment was just a funeral parlor. What I would do is I would go and shift my attention into my inner body. What that is that's a yogic technique. They call it scanning the body. If you are familiar with Eckhart Tolle, if you've listened to A New Earth, the webcast, or if you have read it, you'll have an idea of what this is. It's all about, in the same way that you can listen to your breathing, you can also listen to your body. If you, for example, are really tired, all right, if you just clear your head and feel what is going on in your body, that is actually going to distract you from whatever story is going on in your head. Because when you have grief going on, the feelings are going to start projecting and forming mental stories in your head. Not that these stories are necessarily not true, but it'll make it a lot worse. For example, you are, just grief-stricken, and your mind is going to tell you that you are going to lose everyone, or, don't get too attached because, you ultimately are going to end up losing this person, or, I'm never going to feel whole again. We're talking that. Those things you can't know. We're not talking about reality or the facts. We're talking about how the mind will paint a portrait that is horrid and will make it so much worse. When you pull your attention out of that and back into your body, it's the same as taking a breath. It's going to clear your head, and it's almost like a quick little reboot. Is it going to make you feel happy? No. Is it going to ease the pain? No. Is it going to make it feel a little better? Yes. It'll make it feel not so bad. And, you can then, if this is something that is more illusory, For example, you're all upset because you think that, your girlfriend might be cheating on you, and you're all upset. You can't know that. It's these stories that you're believing. And I'm not saying don't talk to her or, do what you got to do. I'm just saying that it's very easy to let the mind run away with itself and to take you with it. And when that happens, welcome to hell. So, for you, my friend, what I want you to do is I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to just feel yourself wherever you are. If you're sitting down, feel where your seat and your inner legs, okay, or the back sides of the legs are on the chair, the couch, whatever, if you are, if you happen to be, leaning on your kitchen counter and looking at this, just feel where your body is touching anything. Okay, so that's the first thing that I want you to do. If you've been experiencing this for as long as I have, inner body awareness, I can literally feel my body as a little ball of energy. And when I would shift my attention to my body during the grief, it felt like I had smoked a bowl, in the sense of feeling really dizzy in the head and feeling just like you are so sedated, and obviously with no high of any kind. If anything, you just feel because your body is going to feel very different when it's in a state of depression or grief versus when your body is feeling centered, peaceful, your body is at rest. Okay, we don't notice these things because, like our breathing, we don't notice that. It's just so automatic. But when we can learn to take our attention, because we are our attention, we are that awareness. That's what I believe we really are. We are not necessarily the thinking, and definitely not the stories, because so many of the times, so often, the stories are awful and they are not true and they get us upset. And we are so prone to that after we've suffered a loss. So I just wanted to mainly just state that pulling your attention from your head into your body is the first thing you're going to want to do. And in order to start doing that, we'll start with something small. Whatever part of your body is touching the earth, whether it is the soles of your feet, whether it is your sits bones, whether it's your back, whatever it happens to be, just feel that, even if it's for 1 to 2 seconds. So start there, and you and I will be in touch. And anybody else who's getting something from this, good. If anybody has any questions, you can feel free to email me or private message me on Facebook. I'm going to leave links for that, as well as a link for Eckhart Tolle's book. So you guys have a good night. Namaste.